Hi everyone, welcome one more time to Wild Takes. For those returning, welcome back. For the new people here, my name is Desiree and I'm your host. Today we're gonna be discussing a topic that I personally I'm dying to talk about this, and it's the big sister. I'm gonna talk about the big sister role, and I really want to talk about this because this is me. This is me. I am the big sister. Reason I'll start in the beginning. It's what happens when you are the big sister, the first sister. In my case, I'm the first of three. I'm the eldest, but my two youngest brother they came at a really like age gap. I was already like 8, 9 years old, and they came back to back. So my mom did what she was not supposed to on those 40 days period. So we have two babies in the house, literally. And in between, my auntie also got pregnant and she had her baby. So it was three babies at all times. The reason why I mention this is because I want to emphasize that when the big sister, especially the girl, if it's a girl, like I am, it is almost impossible to not take on a heavy load of responsibility. And I want to tackle this first because this has a huge impact in who we are and how we handle our lives as a grown up. This responsibility that is within us. It's not like imposed. Sometimes it is. But in my case, I'll speak from a loving place. My mom had two babies. And they were my little brothers. Of course I was gonna help. If she was feeding one, I was changing the other, or vice versa, whatever it was the case. And then when we will hang around with my auntie quite often, so it was three babies. This sense of responsibility that comes within it just is born in you. It's like a motherly feeling. You cannot help but to want to protect. That comes with a big role of big brother, big sister. But the feminine, obviously, as a mother, you just want to nurture and protect the little ones. And sometimes you get neglected. And you neglect yourself. And nobody knows it's happening. And obviously, because they don't notice that this is happening, it's not on purpose. But out of place of love, they appreciate obviously the help and the nurturing side of you. But in the midst, you can't forget that you're also a child. You're still a child. Oh, I was. And you need to like learn how to reconnect with that. And the reason why I say this is because once when we have been raised, or we grew up in this household, when we have to embrace since early on, such a young age, that we're still not shape ourselves and we're not totally ready sometimes for some of these responsibilities. And not just the responsibility itself, it's just for the period of time that it happens. It never goes away. So we have to learn how to detach a little selfishly and come back to us and nurture ourselves. Because the inner child and a little bit of a child can be lost in there. And I emphasize this because these situations when we are forced into responsibility so early on, we tend to develop as a strong masculine woman. I'm not saying like masculine as a lesbian, truck driver, no. Like in her masculine energy. Like you are a provider, you are a go-getter, you are a workaholic probably. You have to, always do something. You have to feel proactive, and that you are like, even if you are home, but you're like functioning, that you're being productive. You struggle to stay still, regardless of your sign or regardless of your time of the month or whatever. You tend to always have this high drive. And overall, it can look different for everybody, but the overall is you have a high drive. You struggle to slow down. That is me. And the reason why I say this is not obviously to shame parents or brothers or sisters. Absolutely not. One of the things that I love the most It was to care for my brothers and nurture them however I could while I was still a child, because I was. And for whatever time I was with them back in Venezuela and then here, it was amazing. It was amazing. I loved them, and I did enjoy the feeling of like protective my little ones. And I think because I got to experience that is because I feel so strongly about being a mom. I want that feeling for like myself. Like I actually want to experience like, okay, now I have my babies and actually do it. But I would like to just say for those parents that have a little girl or a little boy, because this is for everybody. Like it's still like it's easier on the boys. I would like to say maybe out of a little bit of ignorance, but the reason why I say that is because if you have a firstborn boy, a son, they don't get tired of the responsibility. Don't trigger warning. Don't give me backlash. It's just listen to me. Bear with me for a second. Obviously, I'm not saying that it's good for any child to be, you know, good responsibility. Yes, and I absolutely love seeing this farmer people having this 7, 8, 9 year old driving truck like semi trucks. I absolutely love that. I'm not saying no responsibility to a child. I even have seen parents teaching their young, really young ones about gun safety, actually with actual guns. And I think with proper knowledge, absolutely amazing. But it's one thing to do responsibly with like a period of time, but not as a bearing to the child, like impose, like this is what's done and you're done, like forever. Like this responsibility is never gonna go away. Like it's like you are like a parent. No child should be put in a position as a parent. But yes, absolutely responsible children and with chores to do and collaborate in the household. Absolutely, let's not get it twisted. And the reason why I say that is because although yes, it is good to have this sense of responsibility since early on, let's not neglect the fact that we're still children. And we only have so little, so many periods of time with this with our kids. Let's nurture them. Let's not neglect them. For boys, it's easier because even though they get this sense of responsibility, obviously it is the masculine, so it is like their language. And it's not that we cannot speak that language because also men speak, the feminine language. It's just is their natural language. For us, our natural language is the feminine energy because we are the feminine. For the masculine, the natural language is the masculine. That does not mean the one doesn't have a little bit of the other and so forth. So yes, it is easier for boys to transition with a sense of responsibility. And I dare say, when you do give your children, your boys, with responsibility, control, measure responsibility, since early on, I dare say you will have a better teenager. Because that boy, since early on, is learning that he is a protector. He is a provider. So when he's transitioning, he knows his worth and value. So he struggled less, maybe, with this turbulence of teenage years. So that's the reason why I say it might be easier for boys. Not necessarily in all cases, let's just not go extreme. But please do understand. So how do we nurture this little boy, this little girl that we have us? Just don't forget them. Just don't forget them. Carry them also. I'm not saying that I want it to be carried, but like interact. Don't forget that they're still little. They still nurture you. They need you're nurturing. They need that embrace from you. Let's not neglect that. It's okay to bear responsibility, and I understand that for every child in the house, they're gonna have a different version of their parent and a different version of their siblings. And obviously, depending on which stage that couple is going through or not, something. And I get that. But the kids, I will say, the kids can never pay the price of whatever's going on. That's one. And also, just if you are the one that is a big sister or a big brother, my invitation will be to learn how to relax. Try to reconnect back with your inner child in a healthy way. Try to forgive if you have to forgive something. And this is a big one because honestly, you're not gonna be able to move much forward until you don't start forgiving people. And I know this is a topic that I should probably make a whole episode about forgiving, because I do plan on writing a book about forgiving. That's how important I think it is. And just take from this episode, just take that. If you are a big sister, a big brother, which I will have the episode for the big brother, obviously. But this one especially touches me because this is what I have struggled with my whole life. And also the sense of guilt sometimes. There's a sense of guilt. And forgive your parents. Forgive your parents. They did the best they could and they work with whatever they got. It's just, you choose those also when you were in the astral plane. So I think when we come back and start remembering that we are accountable for whatever it's happening here, our lives start getting easier. So that will be my advice for you today and my invitation. So let me know in the comments below, what is it for you like in your family dynamic? How do you feel if you're a big brother, big sister? Especially big sister, we will have big brother in another episode. And let me know. I'll see you in the comments below, guys.